Alright, so we are back in the garage after putting a street bike muffler on the drift trike, and I think we're going to be working on the ATV for a little bit today. Hopefully in this video we're going to be seeing this as a runner, so this might be a segment of clips where I record today, there might be on a later date, but we're just going to see what we can bang through. As far as I know, we need to find a way to mount the fuel tank and route and exhaust, and to make sure that our engine is still straight and everything's all tensioned up. It's gonna be a little hard because I don't have all my tooling here. Most of it's at work. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, first up, the fuel tank. I've got this L bracket here that I'm going to use to have to match the angle to the bolts right here, just like that, through the bolts, and then I'm gonna weld this onto the frame so that way we have two mount points sticking out. And as far as the third one goes, we'll play that by ear and maybe get it mounted. I don't know yet. Maybe I might use some more angle iron, but it might not be as important if we have just two fuel tank mounts. I got the fuel tank mostly settled on there. It's not tight, but it is pretty sturdy. The holes don't line up there, but we'll fix that later. This is just what I have to work with for now. Anyway, so as far as getting the clearance for the chain, I've got this. I got the pulley here, and the engine not really bolted it up. But I'm seeing that if I were to maybe make another slot in the plate, so this can move about, we do have enough just to barely clear it. And I think I'm gonna need to bolt this engine down and show this in a better perspective here. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, I got 3 of the engine bolts in, and this is what I was talking about here. So if I make a slot in the engine, or just drill a hole to tighten this up and then pull the engine forward, or I don't think I want to weld it, just because I want to make this removable in case something breaks. But this is about what we're dealing with here. It's looking promising. Now we can just, the only thing that I'm not sure about is whether or not the nut is gonna pass through easily for me to tighten this. But if it does, then yeah, that's what I was afraid of. I mean, it kind of does, but I wonder if I can get it through the other side. So I painstakingly got the engine mounted and tied it up. You might have noticed I had a moment where I put the cart in front of the horse. Yeah, I can't access those without using a wrench. So that was a pain in the butt to tighten up. And also this was barely snugged in, but this chain is pretty well tensioned now. It clears the bottoms, and I'm curious to see how long this is going to last. I'm going to predict it not very long, but if it does for a good while, then actually I will be pretty impressed. I'm going to go take a lunch break, but the next thing, well, more like kind of the second to last thing we need to figure out is the exhaust. And then we need to get that fuel line hooked up and maybe get this thing a first pull. But we have this old exhaust from the ATV, and I have some bits and pieces from when I did the street bike muffler on the drift trike. And unfortunately, it's not really gonna, or that ROV muffler I have left over is not really gonna fit because I took out the bulge. But I just don't have the tooling with me right now. So what I have in mind is I'm gonna stick this out here, like so. I'm gonna get a couple tacks in, zip, and then going into that, you're just gonna have to pretend that that's there. We can have the muffler, we can have the header or the exhaust, something like that, and then we could shorten the length of this so it's not the full length. I'm thinking about cutting off this heat shielding because it's in my way. I really don't want it or need it, but yeah. So I'm gonna take a break, and I'll see you in another segment. Let me just say real quick that welding with a flux core welder is still not the easiest, as I'm being self-taught, but apparently I checked this for leaks. Like, I sprayed air into it and I felt around the weld and I didn't feel any air coming out. So, I mean, it still might be bad. We still might have exhaust leaks, but I will fix it off camera over time. But just go easy on me, okay? This is after grinding it and cleaning it up a little bit. It's not the prettiest, but it works. And I could fire this stuff right now after I hook the fuel and put some oil in this thing, but I like my neighbors. So we're gonna get the muffler on. We're gonna get the little muffler on this guy, and then we will see about getting this thing back together and running. Bit of an update for you folks. I fully welded up the exhaust and put on this header sleeve just so we can protect my legs. And when I'm riding this thing, I got this welded on, so this header is not going anywhere. We are very close to hearing this thing fire up for the first time. I'm working on putting in the emulsion tube in our stage 1 performance kit. I cheated the fuel line length by adding in this little dial, so this is a safety fuel latch. Zip ties are temporarily. I'm gonna hopefully replace it with hose clamps. But once we got that all figured out, I'm gonna put a little bit of gas in here, fill the engine up with oil, and put the wheel back on, reconfigure the jacks. And we're gonna hear this thing run for the very first time. And we're gonna see how well my exhaust welding is alone. We'll have a frickin' flux welder. All right, catch you guys in this segment here soon. Okay, I've checked everything once over. I've made sure the exhaust is good. There's fuel in the tank. I checked the fuel on. There doesn't seem to be any leaks so far. I put the carb jet on. I put the air filter on. Choke is on. Fuel is on. This fuel line is on. The throttle is not hooked up to this, so I can only rev it up here. And I got some oil in there, and it's got plenty. It's up on jacks in case it decides to run away. The only kill switch I have is on the engine. And we're gonna hear this thing roar to life. It's to life. Our clutch is loose though. There's that famous knock that we used to have earlier. Oh my god. Okay. So that was an experience. Something tells me that this exhaust is leaking because I feel air here, but I also don't know if that's actually the clutch as well, because this is loose. I saw it spark, which made me jump. Our chain. Did this engine come loose? Okay, the head isn't hot yet, so I can kind of move things around. Gosh, that was so scary. The chain was running all over the place, but it came to life. That was good to see. All right, let me find a washer. Let me find a shim for the clutch, and then we will try again, I guess. Okay, I just went out to the store. I got some washers to go in the shaft, so that should stop the knocking noise. It might have aligned my chain a little bit better or for worse. So we're going to put that back on. Fuel was already on. Choke needs to go back on. We need to turn off. We'll supply to fuel. We are still jacked up. We are going to check for exhaust leaks, which I'm pretty sure I have. Here we go. I think that's a bit better. I think it's actually just coming from the flywheel. I'll take it. That sounds cool. Well, that idle is really strong too. Dave's not moving around much. Brake works. I think that's a win. That's just stupid. I figured there was nothing to worry about regarding the air that I was feeling over by the header. I think it's got to do with some of the air being pushed either by the flywheel or the clutch or on that. So just to prove a point, we're going to start the drift trike up here again. And then right here, there's a little bit of air flow coming from what I believe is the clutch. If not, the flywheel coming into the air, pushing down that way. So that's fine. That exhaust still sounds great, by the way. Ugh. I hooked up the throttle here in between scenes. So now if I pull start this and we verify again. Oh, come on. So now if I verify over here, feel the same type of wind coming from the flywheel, if not the clutch. I checked on my wheels, moving this head of steam around, it seems to be doing okay. And now we got throttle, and I backed out the throttle in just a little bit. A little less than the drift brake, but a little hard to return is the problem. Brakes work. Let's run this up and down the driveway for a second. still feel like that clutch is loose. Nope, not really. That chain, however, oh no, it's because I'm sitting on it. But because when okay, that's good to know. I don't even know how this thing is alive and functioning. But we did it. I could have been more heavier. That thing's an animal already. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how in the world, where is it? I don't know where it is. It's somewhere back there. I don't even know how in the world this is already, I can't even think of any words to say. I don't even know how this thing's alive. I don't even know how I managed to be able to do this. I've had a couple of moments where I doubted myself and I've been really angry with this thing, but it's here. It's alive. I'm not really good with this kind of stuff, but as you can tell by outside, the sun was starting to go down, which means I'm running out of time for this video. I would have loved to take it out around the neighborhood and see what it can do, but one, I don't even know what this thing can do. Two, I don't want to get in trouble with the neighbors or the cops. And three, I'm not ready yet. I still think there's some things for me to do for this thing. I can't really think of them at the moment, but I know in my head that it's just missing some things before it's safe. I mean, one thing's for sure, maybe the chain guard reinforcement and make sure that engine plate's welded, because I'm not really liking those welds so far, but somehow it's still holding up. But I'm impressed, as I was with the drift trike sitting back there. I mean, of course, I designed the frame and I had someone else build it, but this time I was in control and I made that from scratch. So if I can do it, you can probably do it too. But anyway, guys, if you have any more ideas for the ATV to come, be sure to leave them down in the comments. Tell me what you think so far. But other than that, my name is Caden and I Hawk, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace out and God bless everyone.